how we spend our Thanksgiving. So not what I expected. And we were kind of talking about it. I was talking about it with my husband in the car, and he was like, oh, it'll just be one of those fun interludes in between years that we went to a house for home Thanksgiving. But this was one of those interesting years. So the day started out at about 7:30 when the little one woke up. And this was a little bit, I don't want to say disappointing, but I had really hoped to get up earlier and get started on the day before she woke up, but that didn't happen. And to be honest, I should have expected less of myself. So the fact that we all woke up was good. So I made us breakfast. I had made the rum cake ahead of time, so we were kind of having like slices of that here and there. But I just made her standard eggs and bacon, which is a pretty standard breakfast for us. There's nothing super special about that, but for me at least, when I was growing up, bacon was a special treat. So smelling that in the house, especially when it's cold outside, smelling bacon inside is always kind of a good memory. So I made us bacon and eggs, and then we ran outside to watch the parade because where we are staying is very close to the parade route, so that was really exciting. And we got there just in time for the end of the parade, which was fine. I think the little one's still a little bit too little to kind of grasp the idea of balloons and floats and stuff. She's more entertained by the crowds of people that are there, which is fine. So we joined the crowd and then headed back after we saw Santa to close out the parade. That was a show. Then, excuse me, we just got back. Then we got back to the apartment. This was around 10:30. We had lunch reservations for 3 p.m. So we knew, and we were picking up my mom to come down with us to Delaware. So we knew that it would have to be kind of a quick thing to get going. So we got ready and hit the car, which because of the parade route, parking is really challenging getting in and out. So we kind of got the best spot possible, but it's always a struggle to get out with a little one, even no matter how far ahead you plan. Like I started planning ahead the night before, and it's always, there's certain things you can't do until the day of, like getting in outfits and doing hair and things like that, that just need to get done. So that's what we did, and we headed out to go grab my mom. We were, again, later running a little bit, about 15 minutes behind where we wanted to be. Not too bad. My mom had been waiting at our meeting point for a while, but she was totally cool, and it was really a treat to have her come with us. I'm really glad that she was able to come and kind of be part of the celebration. She brought a whole bag of things to keep the little one occupied, which they're fast friends, so she knows exactly the things that the little one enjoys playing with. So she had a whole bag of goodies, including a brand new fork and spoon set, which is great because the little one's learning how to use a fork and spoon. She will grab ours if there's nothing else handy. So she really enjoyed using her fork and spoon set at lunch. So we were in the car heading down, running again about 15 minutes late. We had reservations for 3 p.m. But my husband's family lives locally, so they're like, no problem, we'll get there ahead of time. So it's getting closer, we're getting there. It's about 2:45, and we get a text from my husband's brother, and he's like, well, this is a turn up, the restaurant's closed. So it turns out my husband had made reservations and gotten a confirmation email and then gotten a reminder the day before. And then on that very day, he'd gotten a text from the restaurant saying, oh, because we were 15 minutes behind, like, oh, we haven't seen you, we'll hold your table for 15 minutes, but if we don't hear from you, we'll release it. And he's like, wait a minute, he's like, I have proof. 2 confirmation emails, a reminder, and then a reminder the day of, a notice the day of. So we get there, and the restaurant's obviously closed. There's no one in the parking lot but us. And we're like, okay, so what are we gonna do? It's 3 o'clock on Thanksgiving afternoon. So we start scrambling and calling around places, we start researching what's open. And we end up, of all places, we called, there's an Italian grill, we called the Cheesecake Factory. The place where we ended up was Bob Evans. So eternally grateful to any food service worker who works on Thanksgiving. I did that when I was in high school and then into college. I remember I worked all 3 major holidays. So I worked Easter, Christmas, and Thanksgiving when I first started waiting tables. And I was kind of bummed not to be with my family for the whole day. But let me tell you, I did not mind working those holidays because I feel like people were very generous and they were very thankful that I was working, which we were very thankful that our servers were working. So we ended up at Bob Evans, which I don't think I've, in recent memory, been to a Bob Evans. I think when I was little, like maybe 4 or 5, because we have family out in the Midwest, and we would go to visit them, and I think maybe once or twice we may have stopped at a Bob Evans. So this is a new experience, and again, so thankful for our server, and I'm hoping, I mean, it's my dream to give 100% tip, but I think we came pretty close. I think we did maybe, I want to say, a 60 or 70% tip. I'm very sensitive to tipping, A, having worked in food service, and B, looking the way I do. Like, there's stereotypes, and those stereotypes unfortunately tend to be accurate, which I try to break the stereotype whenever possible and tip generously, especially on a holiday. So I think we did that. So it was just wonderful being with family and seeing each other after a while. And the little one got to see her cousin and uncles and aunts, and that was wonderful. They hadn't seen her since she started walking, which was 3 months ago, so it had been a while. So it was good to see everyone and to spend time together. That's all I'll say. It was really lovely. So it was a lovely way to spend Thanksgiving and kind of have a nice afternoon all together. So after lunch, we kind of packed up. By this time, it's 5 o'clock and pitch black outside. So we're driving an electric car at the moment, rental, and we needed to charge. So we had tried to charge a little bit before we went to the restaurant. When we got to Delaware and went to the restaurant, so we had a little bit of charge, but we knew that we'd need to find another station to charge at. So we hit the road, drove back, dropped my mom off, and then looked for charge, because I mean, this is how close it got. You, on our car, the Chevy Volt, you can see the charge left. So we had 25 miles left of charge, and home was 8 miles away. And there was, fingers crossed, two free stations, charging stations near us. The way that charging stations work is you can't, at least in our area, you can't reserve them. You just have to go and hope that they're still free when you see on the app that they're free, because they very well may not be. So we had 25 miles left. Home is 8 miles away. And I'm thinking, you never know what could happen between here and home. Thank God, nothing happened between here and home. The charging stations were still free, so we were able to plug in, gather up our stuff, gather up the little one, put us all in the stroller, and stroll ourselves home. So I think we got through the door at around 10:20. So that was our Thanksgiving sojourn. And any type of travel with a little one is a labor of love at this stage. It's always good to see family and to be with family and to be together. So it was a lovely kind of time to celebrate each other and family, and the gains that we've made, I think, as a family and together. It's nice to remember where we were this time last year. So the little one was 3 months, and I just remember there were multiple blowouts. There were at least 3 blowouts. So not the easiest of days. And it's just different now, because now we're chasing her around. She's wandering around, which is exciting, and but she's good about staying with us, although she wants to explore everything. So that's a lot of fun. And also a lot of energy. So that's where it was. That's how we spent our Thanksgiving. Let me know how you spent your Thanksgiving or your afternoon if you don't celebrate. I hope you had a wonderful time with friends and family, and I thank you as always for watching. Bye.